welcome back to another USA League Show podcast. Today we have Calvin Simpson from LASE Lions joining us. Hey, Calvin.
Hey, how you doing?
All good, all good. Thank you so much for joining us and taking some time out of your day.
Hey, no problem.
Awesome. So you are part of LASE Lions. I know you run a lot of things for them, and you have a very high role with this club. And fortunate enough, we have you guys part of the USA League, even for the incoming season. Tell me a little bit about yourself and how LASE Lions came about.
Yeah, so well, to begin with, I'm from the UK, London in particular. Um, I moved here possibly, I would say, back in 2018. Um, wasn't necessarily still playing soccer or doing anything to do with soccer when I moved over here. But my background, I played academy level with few Premier League teams in England, some Championship, and then moved over to Holland and continued playing over there. Also played in Japan as well, and then eventually kind of came up to a stop of playing and started a family, and then settled into life in the US. um,
Yeah.
but kind of LACE came about pretty much when a new facility opened. I would say 5 to 10 minutes down the street from me. And I just went over there to see how the kids are doing and what the game looks like over here. And wasn't quite happy with how some of them were training, and decided to step in and like offer some advice and some help.
Mm.
And it kind of just spiraled from there, just helping a couple kids. And then they asked me to come back the next day. And then I went back the next day and asked me to go back the next week. And when I went back the next week, there were, I guess, like initially it was just like 3 kids. When I went back the following week, it was like 10 kids there, and it just continued till a point where I had 50 kids turning up for training.
Wow.
Um, and then they asked me if I would be interested in kind of actually just making the team, and that's kind of how Lace started.
Wow, wow, what a story. Because sometimes you have, these bigger clubs and they've had, X, Y, and Z happen with this sponsor coming in and they're funding everything for the club. And
Yeah,
it's cool to know how it all started. So you as a coach, you the players just were attracted to you and they wanted to be part of your environment that you created. That's very, very cool. And your journey in creating Lace Lions. What position do you serve over there now? Are you a director of coaching or?
so club president, but I am the head coach of men's and 17s, about to be the 19s as well.
Okay. Awesome.
So I kind of serve on that side, but kind of at the same time overseeing everything. We're still very, very small.
Yeah.
And I kind of like it that way, to be honest. Um, we've only got one team per age group, and we've only got like 8 teams or 9 teams now.
No, no, that makes sense. I mean, your values kind of align with, your development of the kids and the players and making sure you're intentional within it. So it makes sense to keep it small, right? Because you want to focus on the development of the player. And like you said, you don't have a humongous staff. So
Right.
you're able to work with those players. When people hear Lace Lions, you as a younger club, what do you want them to know? Like, what do you want them to correlate Lace Lions with?
So that's actually a great question. To be honest with you, just to keep in mind that we're about the players. That's one of the main things. Like I didn't start this for money. I didn't start this like for myself. It's mainly to do with the fact that I saw some kids that had potential, and I want them to get to the highest to the highest point that they can in the game. So realistically, for us, it's just, if you think of Lace, it's a club that is there to try and help you get to the highest point possible. As long as you want to train hard and and work on yourself, we're here to help you. So that's one of the main things for me.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And I think, for myself as well, I've coached at the high school, the college level, UPSL, and all these things. And I think having clubs like LACE into our league and what we stand for within our own mission within the United Soccer Association is exactly that. We obviously want to provide a platform for clubs and teams and players and coaches to continue to develop, but also it's cost effective, right? So we
Right.
have our green and gold initiatives. We have all these different initiatives to hopefully enhance the game of soccer within the Region C area, but also the state of Florida and so forth. So I love to hear that, because there are other clubs that their values are a little bit different, right?
Definitely.
And Yeah, so it's awesome to hear that, right? Like it seems like you're so intentional with these players, and I think any family or player would be lucky to be part of what you have there. So it's awesome to hear.
No, definitely. I like a huge thing for us right now. Like the season just finished up. Next week we take 8 players to England for pro trials. Like they've actually been invited back by the pro clubs that are there
Wow.
for actual trials. We went to visit in February of this year.
Mhm.
Um, and then we also went to visit last year as well. And from those 2 visits, like we've had a few callbacks, and even like from some of our slightly older players in our men's team, we actually had 2 callbacks in that group as well, um, for trials for them. So it's it's slowly developing and it's slowly kind of moving along in terms of what the plans are like to get the kids to the highest point. But yeah, like you said, it's just for people to kind of know a little bit more about us and kind of know that we're here as well.
Yeah.
Um, that's the point that we're trying to get to.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And I think you answered my next question a little bit is, what is the long-term vision for Lace, right? Because you have your short-term goals. Remind me again, what year did the club, what year was it established?
2024, like
There you go, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
we actually started March of 2024,
Okay.
and we kind of got into the league last year. So last season I just finished was our first season in the league itself.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
so
it's incredible. It's incredible because I also don't think a lot of individuals, maybe they don't really know what it takes to run a club, or
right.
what it takes to, even on the UPSL side, or even multiple United Soccer Association teams. And can you tell me a little bit about, like, just a little bit of insight, like for your own day to day as a club president? What does that truly look like? And you even have players going on trial now, right? So I know it's
Yeah.
probably a lot, but tell me just a little bit so parents and players can really see what it takes.
Um yeah, the day to day is kind of tricky, to be honest with you. Like, to be fair and to be totally honest, like I wasn't 100% sure what I was getting myself into. Um, it was like I had an idea, I'd done some research, I asked a few people, I asked a few clubs, um, information before I started. Um, but I wasn't made fully aware of how difficult it can be at times. Um, but the day to day pretty much is like partially emails, um, get up emails, messages, following back up with the league, following back up with players, making sure registrations are being taken care of, um, making sure that for us anyway, from on my side is also for me planning what that development schedule looks like for the players. So we actually, at the moment, we follow a curriculum between 3 UK clubs, and just kind of putting that together before the season kicks off. Um, getting that ready. What else was there? Training schedules, actually getting the uniforms and stuff like that prepared, making sure that everyone that's ordering uniforms knowing what they need to do, checking in with sponsors, making sure sponsors are still on board. Yeah, there's a lot to do during the day, and then still having time to do clinics and training sessions and request for one-on-ones. It gets a lot.
Yeah, no, I think I genuinely think it's funny because obviously when you typically would meet parents or players, you're at the field, right? Part of your
Right.
day is at the field, but that's just a small little piece, right? That's the most
Correct.
enjoyable piece.
It
But you
is.
also have everything else that takes place that a lot of people don't know take place. So thank you for sharing that. I know obviously there's probably a lot more details within that, but
No,
I
there is.
do.
Honestly, it's
I,
even a struggle to
yeah.
remember half of the stuff that you have to do throughout the day.
Yeah,
But yeah,
exactly, exactly. Um, I do have a few more just like questions that I was a part, obviously I'm with the USA League. I developed my own UPSL program with a youth club, but we established ourselves predominantly within the semi-professional realm. And I know you also have a UPSL team as well.
right.
And in coinciding that, right, obviously you have the youth, you have adults. Why choose the United Soccer Association, and what are the benefits for you for your club? Like, why take what you have from the youth, and obviously yes you have the UPSL for the adults, but why the United Soccer Association for your teams for your youth programs?
For me, it was fairly easy. One of the things was the management of the league. Um, Being able to reach out to someone and then getting back to me fairly quickly. And making sure that I was okay, making sure that I got what I needed. Things were done on time for me, and like trying to handle registrations and stuff like that, getting players into the league. Any issues I had were kind of taken care of quickly. Um, that was one of the main things as a new club or a new coach coming into a league. Having the support was huge. The other part of it, looking at the league, is the level of competition, the way it varies, meaning that we can have kids that aren't quite there yet, which are one or two of our teams. We can put them in like the Division 2 or Division 3 in the league, and then the kids that are a little bit more advanced and like fully prepared for competition at that higher level can play in like the Division 1 and have a chance to truly develop against other quality players as well. So that those things were kind of the main reasons why we selected USA League.
Awesome. No, it's good to hear. It's everyone has different feedback. Even for myself as to why I work in this league in this organization.
Yeah,
And I think you hit the nail on the head, right? We try to do things customer service wise. We try to do it at a high standard, make sure that our clubs have what they need and that you guys are successful within your own methodologies and your own values that you have within your clubs. So
right.
that no, that's awesome to hear and just get the feedback and just listen as to why. Why did you choose the USA? Like, why do you do what you do? Why do you do the things that you do within your club? And so that's
Right.
awesome. I have a little bit more of a fun question for you.
Okay.
Um, so, um, two. Let me just. I'll put them on two. Um, First of all, what is the best piece of advice that you've ever received within your career as a player, coach, administrator, club president? What is the one single best piece of advice that you've received through soccer?
Um, it's one of them actually, and I was thinking about this recently. One of the things, a piece of information I received was a quote um, that helped to push me. Um, and it's why come this far to only come this far, and that kind of stuck with me. That unfortunately for me, that was during one of my runs. It's like they said we had 10 laps and I only done 8, and I felt like I was kind of good to give up. And the coach said, well, you've done 8, why you come this far to only come this far, kind of thing. Just put the work in and get the rest done. um and kind of applied that to, I don't know, it kind of stuck with me. So I kind of applied that to a majority of my game and learning. Like I figured, like I've got this good, you know, I've got far, but why only that far? There's still players better than me. I can go further.
Yeah.
So yeah, so kind of that was one of the things. Um, the other one really for was a coach. Um, piece of advice he gave me was uh, kind of one of the things I see a lot here with a lot of the kids. They join clubs and they go places to be with friends. Um, and the advice the coach gave me was when you're about to sign your contract, um, if the manager says to you that the contract offer is on the table now, do you turn around and say to them, I'm only going to sign if my friend joins too? And I looked at it and I kind of was like, well, my friend's going to do what he's going to do, and I need to do what's best for me. So, do I only go somewhere to develop because of a friend, or do I only sign contracts because of friends? It's purely, it's a game where it's about friendship when you're in the club, but it's about an individual when you're away from it.
Mm.
So I kind of had to let that one sink in, and it helped me to start training a little bit harder and make sure I was kind of investing in myself and more dedicated to my craft rather than focusing on what friends and other people around me were doing.
Mm. No, I like that. I can't say I've the second piece, right, is like obviously you build that family and that culture within your club when you're in the club, right?
Right.
Um, but that's a cool perspective to take in, right? Because yeah, friends will follow friends, but you need to do what's best for yourself as well in your development and selecting a team or club. And that's a very cool piece of advice. And it's cool,
Yeah.
right? Too, right? You've made a lasting impact on the first 5 kids that you coached at Lace, and then it turned into 20, and then to 50, and
Correct.
then a coach, maybe it was a co-coach or someone that you worked with, but another coach made an impact in your life, and you still remember those quotes. So I
No,
think that's also
definitely.
a very cool aspect that you've made an impact on someone's life, but someone else has made an impact on yours. So
No, no, definitely. And the thing is as well, like we always have to remember, like we're in one of those games where learning doesn't ever really stop.
yeah,
So getting information from people and learning new things and learning different ways to approach things, it's always going to happen within this sport. I don't know about all other sports, but within this one especially, we're always learning new things. So
yeah,
like
uh-huh.
someone telling you something and it resonates with you, you should let it stick.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's awesome. That's good advice, and hopefully our listeners will take that in and they'll do what they'll do with it. But just to listen to it is awesome. Lastly, we've got the World Cup going on, massive
Oh,
tournament
geez.
that only happens every 4 years. You told me you're from the UK, so I think I have the answer for this. Today is July 9th, just so everyone knows when they're watching
Right.
this. Who is going to win the World Cup?
That's an unfair question. See, like so because USA is out of it, I don't have to by default say USA. But I think England do have a good chance. They need a few things to happen in order for them to win it. But overall, I think that there's a particular team with a lot on their side for them to win it. They wear blue and white, I believe. But the priority team, I would say, or the main team I would like to see win it would be France at the moment.
Okay. And they
Did
just
they
they just beat
did they get
Morocco
through
today.
today? Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
Yes, they
Yeah.
did.
So they stand a good chance. I would hope. I would like to see them and Argentina kind of battle at the end. But if not, then yeah, I would like England to have a shot.
Yeah. Nice little
Yeah.
replay from the last World Cup.
Yeah, no, but it's also like for the British is just singing that it's coming home song. It's coming home, like that kind of sticks with you, so you always think it's coming home, but it never does. So yeah, we'd
Not
like to
yet,
see
not
one
yet,
come
right?
home. Yeah, we'd like to see one, just something. Euros or World Cup, like just get something.
Yeah,
I'm an
yeah.
Arsenal fan, so like I've already had great feelings for this year.
Okay.
Like that was my academy where I played when I was younger. So like seeing them win the Premier League was great. So now I'd like to see England win the World Cup if that's possible.
There you go. No, there you go. That's awesome, man. I mean, we're living in a special time here in the U.S. as well, right? The World Cup's taking place here in the U.S. And I think it's just been awesome. And we'll see, right? We've got July 19th, 10 days to go, and we'll see who's in the final and go from there.
Yeah, I hope it's England. I will be in England if they're in the final, so I'll get to celebrate there if they actually go the way. So that would be great.
No, that's awesome. Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for, sharing your story, sharing what Lace Lions is all about and just some feedback about the USA League and, what your club and teams can expect from our league and what they can expect from the players and parents joining your club. So, thank you so much for your time, Calvin.
No, not a problem. Thank you very much, Ethan. I appreciate it.